for a politician and you can't stand for your people that voted for you. And because you don't want to die, step aside.
Nollywood actor Kenneth Okokwo have a lot of things to review to us, guys. He said if you are a politician, maybe a leader, you are a president, you are in any position and you are not ready to die, or you are scared of, oh, I don't want to die, I don't want to do this. He said you should kindly step aside quick, like just rush and step aside quick. That's what Nollywood actor said. I will leave you guys to watch this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on your bell notification icon to get notified all the time. Thank you so much for all you do. Please do well to like this video, because when you do so, it will help this video to reach the greater numbers of people in this platform. So guys, let's dive right to the main video.
Because electoral bodies are meant to be independent. And the law is that they should not receive any direction or control from anybody. So a court giving an order that election will not hold in Rivers State, knowing it will constitute constitutional crisis, knowing it will deny Rivers State from even its allocation from the federal government, that judge has not upheld the tenets of justice and rule of law. As a lawyer, I cannot support that by any iota of imagination, because the whole idea of interpretation of constitution is to give value to it, not to destroy it. Do you know, in law, if you have a motion, for instance, seeking to destroy the rest, and there is a motion seeking to preserve the rest, even that motion seeking to preserve the rest, even if it came last, it will be treated first. That's the position of the law. Then you have people saying there is a judgment to destroy the rights of the Rivers people to vote. And they are saying there is another judgment that says go and vote. And you're telling me which one will I choose, when there is a superior judgment of the Supreme Court that has settled the matter? Why would they even dabble into it? And they will say the facts are different. What do they mean by that? That is judicial trickiness. That's judicial craftiness and cunning. The whole idea is hold election within 90 days. And the duty of every person and every authority in Nigeria is to ensure that the order of the Supreme Court and the provisions of the Constitution is obeyed. And so the judges, whoever partook in that, should be disciplined. That's my opinion. And if you recall, even the law that says 1993 election should hold, if you recall, that law ousted the jurisdiction of the court to give any order to stop it, just as it is in our laws today. And yet a judge went ahead, because some military boys did not want the election again. They wrote the law and they used the instrumentality of the court to want to destroy the election. But something happened. The NEC then, under Professor Nwosu, refused, and they went ahead to conduct the election. And the election was conducted and a winner emerged. Then the same military boys went and forcefully stopped the announcing of the result, still wanting to use the courts. And this is where Nwosu lost it. He would have proceeded to complete the announcement and announce the result. Why run away and chicken out? And many years after, even after when the man had died, you're coming to say you are announcing he won. No. If you want to do the right thing no matter the consequences. If you don't want to do the right thing, keep quiet and keep quiet forever. That's why when people want to marry, they will say, if you know anything that wants to stop these people to marry, come and talk, or forever remain silent. From now onwards in Nigeria, if you're given a duty, do it. Whoever wants to stop you, say no. Go ahead and do it. That's the only way we can be saved from this crop of leaders. They don't have conscience. They don't respect the rules, and they want to corrupt everybody. So please, if Mosu refused to obey the injunction not to conduct the election and proceeded to conduct the election and started announcing the result, he wouldn't have succumbed to the blackmail of the military boys then. He would have proceeded to complete the announcement and announce the winner and finish his job. And whatever happens to him, he would have known he has done his job. That is what Simfubara is doing. He said, if you shoot me, go ahead. You will go down in history as the most wicked and callous IGP that killed Fubara. When you want to take over the leadership of your place, or you want to represent your people, what were you thinking? You think leadership is a common case? No. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. Whenever you are in leadership, look at what happened to Donald Trump. In America, where security is everywhere, yet 2 times now they wanted to kill him. Every profession has its own risk. If you're not willing to take the risk that is attached to any profession, step aside so that people who are given that mind by God will go ahead and serve God in that capacity. If you're an actor and an actress and you say you're not going to hug babes and you're not going to kiss them, step aside. Because that's what the job is. Don't come and say you're a born-again Christian. That's what the job entails. If you're a politician and you can't stand for your people that voted for you, and because you don't want to die, step aside. Because that's what the job entails. Any politician that is not behaving like Simfubara, who will resist and protest when his rights are trampled upon, knowing that our judicial system, knowing that our electoral system have failed us, that any politician who will not stand his ground, no matter the risk to his person, I said I will not speak for that politician again, and I maintain it. And you can see what is happening, because we can't go forward. We calm down. If Simfubara has been saying calm down, do you know where River State would have been? He said he's ready for them. He's fully prepared. The election must go on. The election must hold. Winners must be declared. They will be sworn in. And whatever is going to happen, let it happen. I am looking for leaders who would say nobody will rig my election. And if you rig my election, I will fight. Nigerians, come out and fight. If they kill anybody, let them kill all of us. Oh yes, and thank God I'm seeing it happen. What Fubara did, was he advocating for violence? Was he advocating that the law should be broken? No, he was advocating for his right. That's my opinion. That's my advocacy. We must advocate for our right and stand by it. I did not disqualify anybody. I don't have that right. I said, I am not going to speak for anybody going forward except this person meets this criteria. In any case, we have finished 2023 election. It's over. 2027 election has not come. So anybody who is saying betrayal, what am I betraying? There is nothing on ground. When I was a spokesman in 2023, I did my job creditably well, and we convinced Nigerians on what we believe is right. But you can see that in Nigeria, you not only have to have the power to win election, you have to have the power to defend your election. So anybody that does not have that spirit or power to defend the votes in a manner that you would say, whatever happens to me as a person, let it happen. I am not willing to speak any further for the person. So what I just simply said is that going forward, I will no longer be part of this until these fears are addressed. So I did not disqualify anybody. One, I don't have that power. Then two, I am not betraying anybody because I'm still a member of Labour Party. And you can see I'm still fighting that Labour Party should be consolidated because Nigerians are looking for an alternative to these people. But if you want to fight these people who are compulsive thieves and who are the worst amongst us, leading us, according to Senator Ndume, who is part of them, then you have to grow higher and be more aggressive than calm down. That's what I said, and I stand by it. In all honesty, I would have said we don't. But because I'm a student of theology, I would not say so. Because when Elijah thought he was the only person that was worshiping God, God said, no, you're not the only person. There are more than 7,000 persons like you still in that country that have not done anything evil. I know them. So the only thing we have to do in this country, we must not be sentimentally attached to anybody, any politician. We must not be loyal to political parties or politicians. We have to be loyal to the country and to the law. And if any law is unjust, we have to fight the law. If anybody is doing anything illegal, no matter who the person is, we have to fight the person. So in Nigeria, we must create the environment so that those 7,000 that we do not know who are leaders will be able to begin to emerge. If the good ones keep quiet, they will never emerge. When people say people are selling their votes, you know why they are selling their votes? Because they believe that even if they vote their conscience, it will not count. Not because they want to be corrupt. They saw what happened in 2023. I was an active participant in that election of 2023. They did not sell their votes. But after, it did not count. So they'll be like, why would I go and say I'm voting for my conscience when it will not count? If I'm going to take this money, at least it will be what I gain. So if we don't fight, we are making the people that want to do the right thing to even lose confidence. That is why we must have to rise up to defend democracy. We must make sure that our votes count and are counted in every election. Otherwise, people will not see the reason to vote their conscience. Because even if they vote their conscience, it will not count. So in Nigeria, there are still a lot of men and women that are not corrupt. I may not know them, but they will emerge. There are still a lot of judges that are not corrupt. I can say that because I won a lot of cases as a litigator and I have never met any judge privately. If every judge is corrupt, that means I wouldn't win any case. So I can say that there are judges in our court that are not corrupt. We may not know them, but we must create an avenue to defend such ones when the hawks that are corrupt want to swallow them up. So also in all the departments, ministries, agencies in Nigeria, there are politicians that are not corrupt. There are Nigerians that are not corrupt. Why is it that when Nigerians go outside Nigeria, they perform creditably well? It is because by their nature, they are not corrupt. But it is the environment that is helping to make them corrupt. It is the poverty, the hunger and hardship that are contributing to tempt them to be corrupt. I want to tell you, it's not every Nigerian that is corrupt. It's not every judge. It's not every civil servant that is corrupt. But we must fight so that those people will have the courage to arise. I cannot ever remember myself being corrupt in anything. I do my best. I say the truth, and I'll leave the rest to God. Does that mean I'm ascribing perfection to myself? Then that means I am not honest. I am not even a good man. There is only one that is good, and that's God. The only thing I know is that I'm an honest man. And we must fight to save our country. We are now at the edge of a precipice, and every Nigerian should not keep quiet. We must fight for our country. We don't have any other country. What Alex Oti did was purely legal by the constitution of the Labour Party. Article 13, 2A talked about the composition of the NEC, the National Executive Council of Labour Party. And the governor, elected governor, and the deputy III is a member of the NEC. And the presidents and general secretaries of the labor unions manning the labor centers are members of the NEC. The chairman of the women commissions of the labor centers, they are members of NEC, statutory members. So immediately INEC, not even Labour Party, rejected Abur, and rightly too, for not conducting any convention known to law. The only set of people remaining as members of NEC are the statutory members, which include Dr. Alex Oti and his deputy, the presidents of NLC and TUC, and their general secretaries, and the chairman of the women commissions of Labour Party. By the constitution which Abur gave to me when I came to Labour Party, it was not Labour Party that declared Abur's seat vacant. It was INEC, and he was disgraced out of INEC. And Labour Party has always insisted that there will be a party of rule of law, because Article 8C is very clear that the aim and objective of Labour Party is to create a new Nigerian personality that is altruistic, that is patriotic, and that is committed to rule of law and due process in all spheres of our national life. And so that's why we're fighting, and I will continue to fight that the right thing should be done. Abur did not conduct any convention. Can you imagine? I said I was not even aware that a convention was going on. And do you know what? They missed the point. At least INEC has a bragging right now that it is more honest than some group of people in Nigeria. INEC can now claim that at least it is more honest than the Abur-led, expired Abur-led NWC of Labour Party. They did not give any notice known to law to INEC. First of all, they say they gave a notice by December for a convention that will hold by March. The question is, which notice? They say they gave a notice to INEC about a purported convention that will hold in Umuahia in a different date. Please, did Abur and his cohorts hold any convention in Umuahia? Good. Does that not invalidate it? They say they gave another notice for one convention that will hold in Edo. Please, was there any convention held in Edo? The only notice they are saying they gave to INEC for a purported convention held in Nnewi was 6 days to the time. That was when INEC received it. Please tell me any law that says you will give notice to INEC for 6 days to hold any convention. And the law is clear by section 82.5 that any convention without such valid notice is invalid. That's the law. Apart from that, it's an insult to INEC that you're giving INEC 5 notices for a convention, and all of them are speaking of different things. You know the danger in that, if INEC accepts it, there are about 18 political parties. If each party will be giving INEC 5 notices for a convention and they accepted it as normal, they would have about 90 notices to treat. And then 6 days to the time. Let us assume you told INEC you're going to have your convention in Sokoto, and they mobilized everything waiting for you to have it in Sokoto. Okay, let me even give you an example. If you said you were going to have your convention in Abuja, and they mobilized their people, with the cost of fuel now, they can just trek from their office to Abuja. And they have done everything like that, not allocating money for flight, not allocating money, then a day to the time. Because once you accept, you will accept for 6 days, which the law does not permit. That means somebody can come a day to the time. So a day to the time, you come to INEC and say, no, you've changed your notice. It is not going to be in Sokoto. And it might be in a town close to Niger Republic, where they will need to mobilize their people in terms of flight, in terms of accommodation, in terms of everything. If you allow INEC to allow the illegality that Abur and his colleagues perpetrated to stand, then INEC has opened itself to such illegality that 18 other parties will be exploiting it, and they will cite that one as precedence. INEC did the right thing by making it clear that Abur did not organize any convention known to law. But here is another thing. Convention is for the members of Labour Party. It's not for INEC. Can Abur and his colleagues tell the world where anyone notice was given to the members of Labour Party that there's a convention? One notice. Because the law is clear. In section 82, subsection 3 of the Electoral Act, that the executive of the party must be elected by the members of the party or their elected delegates. And then he did not even give notice at all to members of the Labour Party. At all. No media house announced it. So it's not even INEC. INEC's own is to come and monitor. But the people that ought to be the ones to conduct convention